continue our election coverage tonight at 10 o'clock as well with our full election show. Hopefully we'll have the results in by then. Yesterday when I talked to Warren County Clerk Lynette Yates, she said about 8 or 9 Central Time is when she's thinking those results should be finalized. We'll see if that holds up. Okay, he told me he might get nervous as we go on, so he said he wouldn't say very much. But earlier he told me that he's having a blast. We're having a blast out here. And then further down this road is access to Marshall County High School. But the access to that road has been blocked off all day long. Even just driving down the road, you can see the big blue tarp the couple has put up over their house to try to protect it. But what you can't see are the pieces of broken glass and the landscaping. And also pieces like these where parts of the front porch have broken off. Whether it's your phone or the radio or some of the fancy buttons in newer vehicles, state police say they've worked several accidents lately involving some type of distracted driving. Here's some more examples. Both of these giant bags are filled with coats to hand out. Park officials and the FBI are on scene as this investigation continues. As you can see behind me, they do have yellow tape up over an area. As you can see, several rounds did penetrate this backpack, and they actually went through each layer of the bag until you get to this last layer here. It looks like the bear started in these woods and then opened up this fence and crawled through. In fact, this fence here is one of the only signs of damage that you can still see. On a really cool special report coming up for you all about local beekeeping. They've made their list and they've checked it twice. And more than 100 families are opening their doors to find not 1, not 2, but 3 boxes full of food and cleaning supplies the volunteers are dropping off at their homes.
Yes, ma'am. We appreciate you.
It all starts at the FOP Lodge in Bowling Green, where members and other volunteers pack boxes to donate to families in need.
God provides a way for us to help people in our community, and my passion is to do that.
With each truck loaded up, that's one more family that won't have to worry about having the basics, at least for a week or two as we approach the holidays.
We got one more down this way on this side, then we have to relocate. It takes a lot of folks to make this happen, but that's what we're here to be, a blessing.
Don Duvall works at the Housing Authority in Bowling Green and delivered several of the baskets to the families here who are on his drop-off list.
It just brings joy to their face because a lot of them tell us that they don't know what they was going to do, how they was going to get it, so any way we can help is graciously appreciated.
Merry Christmas, sir.
At the Housing Authority, our boss, Mr. Abraham Williams, he's big on family, and so we understand coming together and help one another because at the end of the day, we all in the same shape. If you don't help nobody, don't expect to get no help.
The American Legion and several families in the Rockfield area also received these boxes from the FOP. Reporting in Bowling Green, Darby Beane, 13 News.
You're welcome.
The snow on the ground was the same color as the smoke that filled the sky Tuesday morning after a house fire in Edmonson County.
You just feel helpless, or you don't, it just, the family is something, they work so hard to lose everything they got.
By the time the Collegiate Volunteer Fire Department got to the scene, they say this one-story home was a total loss and had fallen into the basement.
Some of the house was already pretty well taken over.
Hours later, the home was still burning.
Everything around on fire. I mean, it's just hard to comprehend.
Flames were still popping up, eating away the snowflakes that were falling down.
You focus on one thing so the cold really don't set in with you until it's all said and done.
Despite this view, there is something to be thankful for.
The family was not at home at the time. They was out of town.
Firefighters say a couple and their 3 children lived in the home.
Supposed to sit down with them when they come in and kind of figure out some more stuff on this relief effort that we got going for them.
The community is taking clothing donations at South Edmondson Elementary and the 5th Sick Center to help them get back on their feet.
Red Cross has been in touch with them and also going to try to help put them up if they ain't got a place or anything they can do to help along the way, too.
As the smoke continues to roll, officials say they still don't know what caused the fire at this time. Reporting in Edmonson County, Darby Beane, 13 News.
It will be different, but it'll be okay.
From the nursery, you can see cars passing by on Broadway Avenue.
But they've never even come close to us. But this time, we were just the unlucky ones.
This is what happened on Friday. A drizzly, rainy day as the garden center prepared for Easter weekend, ending with a car driving off the road and into the middle of the nursery.
It will impact the business for a while. I think people will think, well, they've had a tragedy, they're closed.
But on Monday, just a few days after the wreck, the garden center is back open and much of the accident scene is cleared up.
This greenhouse was loaded with baskets and plants underneath and benches. When it was up, it came out to here. So all of this was ripped off, and the car finally ended up right here.
More than 1,000 plants were destroyed, including around 100 hanging baskets. They now all fill this dumpster.
That's a tremendous amount of plants, and they were just flipped. Soil everywhere. I mean, you were walking that deep and just plants.
And a woman working outside helping for the holiday weekend was hit by the car.
And we're hoping for a quick recovery. It won't be speedy, but we pray that it will be a recovery. But we're still lucky. I had 21 people within 2 hours picking and cleaning, and they were taking care of me and was pushing me out of the way, said, go sit, we've got this.
In fact, this fence here is one of the only signs of damage that you can still see.
It's amazing the love and the prayers that have come from the city of Bowling Green.
As customers continue to stop by and the spring season gets fully underway, Warden and Company is praying for their friend who was hurt, and they're thankful no customers were injured. The business is now running its regular scheduled hours. Reporting for 13 News, I'm Darby Beane. That's the sound this door is supposed to make, locking away who and what's inside the Barron County Detention Center. But according to jailer Aaron Bennett, an officer didn't close the door securely yesterday afternoon, and an inmate in the holding area waiting to be booked walked out, even telling another officer he had already served his time.
I guess from his experience in jail, he didn't hear it slam, so he knew it wasn't secured. So he kind of sat there for a few minutes, and then he got up and said to that officer, well, I'm finally being released, and walked out the door.
Video from the jail shows that escapee, Shannon Wyatt, walking out the door, looking around, and leaving the facility. Wyatt is no stranger to the jail system in Barron County and in Allen County, with several arrests as far back as 1999. And as recent as yesterday, he had just been transferred to Barron County from the Allen County Detention Center, and no one noticed he wasn't properly booked after transport. That was until jailer Bennett arrived at the jail that evening and made a phone call to Allen County's jailer.
I contacted Allen County jailer, Jailer Piper, and he contacted me and let me know that he was already transported to Barron County. And he gave me the time that he dropped him off, and I went back and I looked at the camera system.
It was about 5 hours before anyone realized Shannon Wyatt wasn't where he was supposed to be. Local law enforcement continue searching for him.
Typical charges are drug-related and theft-related. I don't believe he's going to harm the public in any manner.
Jailer Bennett has already addressed the staff about policy changes.
We're going to go back to doing it how kind of the old jail was. Whenever somebody came in, they would actually have to open up the door with a key to let them in, and then at that time, jail staff is there with the incoming inmate.
He's also planning to invest $26,000 into an upgraded camera system. That money coming from the commissary, not from taxpayers.
Yesterday is the 100th day of me as jailer. I'm going to focus on being professional still, and we're still training and educating the deputies and staff, the training and education that they haven't received before in the past. So we're really focusing on that and how to do our job and the fundamentals efficiently.
Once caught, Wyatt will be charged with escape. Reporting for 13 News, I'm Darby Beane. A state of emergency has been declared after a gas leak in Bowling Green. Officials are trying to figure out where it's coming from. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Darby Beane. Experts have been working to determine the source of the leak in the greater Lost River Cave area. In the latest reports, we're being told other suspected tornadoes and flooding have killed at least 8 people, including 3 children. We take a look at all of this damage tonight across the south and the east, while other parts of the country are still dealing with winter weather. More than 60 people attended today's event. Goodwill partners with what's called second chance employers. So even if someone found out their record can't be expunged right away, Goodwill can connect them to those employers who give opportunities to individuals with criminal records. Tonight, we're learning more about a fatal crash in Warren County. This morning, the Warren County Sheriff's Office confirmed 22-year-old Sarah Hood died in that crash. Officials say Hood was headed northbound on Morgantown Road when her car left the road and crashed into a tree. Hood is a graduate of Warren Central High School, and school officials told 13 News she made a tremendous impact on them during her time there, always having a smile on her face and being very involved with the cheerleading team. It all started out as rain this morning, but as temperatures in the atmosphere began to drop, that rain transitioned into wet and heavy snowflakes. The snow left a coating on the ground in places like Morgantown, as you see here. The local transportation cabinet is doing what it can to make sure these roads stay safe. The Bowling Green Police Department says it's investigating a threat to the Hinkle facility in Bowling Green. We have very limited information at this time, but we have contacted BGPD and Hinkle about the incident earlier today. Expecting parents and even experienced parents can all use a little support. At today's Expectant Parent Fair, people got the opportunity to check out a variety of exhibits, vendors, and educational resources at the medical center. 13 News' Allie Hennard was there. She has that story. A man who escaped the Barron County Detention Center earlier this week is now back in custody. Shannon Wyatt walked out of the jail's holding area Wednesday afternoon after noticing a door didn't shut properly, so that means it didn't lock. The very next day, jailer Aaron Bennett said the jail is already making changes to make sure this doesn't happen again. As promised, we're outside and the rain is holding off, thank goodness. We have some jumping Jaguars here with us this midday, and they're talking about a camp that they have. First of all, I'm going to go down the line. I want you to tell me your name and what grade you're in. The overcrowding right now, and you want people to be able to adopt several of the kittens that you have, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Chris. We're once again talking about the Hoedown for the Hounds, an event on Saturday to benefit the Humane Society of Edmonson County. And Andrea Guess is going to be performing there. She was just performing at CMA Fest this past weekend, and now you can see her in Brownsville, all while having the opportunity to learn about how you can adopt a new pet. It's like when it's Christmas and it's 75 degrees outside. It's just not right. So at least it's hot on 4th of July. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. Hotter than a firecracker, as we say. Well, let's check. Thank you.
If you're not on Facebook, Justin has been very, very busy tracking this. Everybody knows how I like snow.
Oh, I love snow.
Like once a year.
I'm
like
ready for
Christmas
it.
Day,
Bring on
that's
fall, bring on winter. I love it.
We'll do a poll later. Make sure everybody knows tomorrow. If they hear the cows going off a little after 9 o'clock, it's expected. It is for a routine maintenance check. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and more than that, this is the annual statewide tornado drill.